Alright, here are the first three fills of the Hold On song by Alabama Shakes. The first one is at bar 25. 2-bar fill, kind of more like a beat, a linear beat kind of sounding fill. First bar is just our normal beat plus an ah on the snare on the 4. So we're going to play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Next one is 1 E and So right, left, right, bass, 1 E and 2 and So together, right, left. Beat 3 is the same as beat 1. 3 E and then 4 and. So 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and. So both bars together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Make sure you're counting, it'll help a lot. A little quicker. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Especially because when you're adding that on the 4 and it runs into the next bar, you're gonna get lost if you're not counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Tempo is 84. Let's hear it to that. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Next one is at bar 41 and 42. It's right before the bridge. Actually, we might just be doing those 2 for now, because once we get into the bridge, it's kind of like we're going. I'll show you the third one as well. But 41 and 42, same kind of thing. We're kind of playing a beat, but it's a little bit different. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're combining elements of the other one. So the 2 is the together, right, left. And then the beat 3 is the same as beat 1 and 3 in the other previous fill. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the fill is pretty simple, except it's just fast. So left on the snare, right on the floor tom, and we're playing 16th notes. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and we're growing. So it's starting. We have 4 beats that we need to start here and end here. So we're going to cut that in fourths. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Stick height determines volume. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And we're going to put, if we can, put the hi-hat on 2 and 4. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and with the foot. Not a huge deal, but if you can get it, it's awesome. Coming out of that, we're going into the bridge, and we're not crashing on 1, which we typically do. We're actually going to rest on 1. So I either say like rest or pause, or I'll just say 1, knowing I'm not going to play it. And we're going to crash on the 2. That's kind of the theme for the bridge here, is that the crashes are on the 2. So I will show you, let's just see how much of this we get through. So first 2 bars of the bridge, rest on 1. Crash on 2 with the snare. So whenever the crash is on 2 or 4, it's typically going to be with the snare instead of the bass, because that's what we're naturally playing already, is the snare on 2 and 4 usually. That's why when it's on 1 or 3, we usually crash them with the bass, because that's where we usually play our bass. So we're going to play 1, 2. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So then the rest of the beat's the same. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and now this is where it gets a little weird. Bar 44 is we're playing first half of the beat's normal, 8th notes, 1 and 2 and then we have a 32nd notes in there, just 2 of them. So 32nd note is a 16th note cut in half. So if we're playing 1 E and we have here 2 notes where the would be. So the easiest way I think to count this, especially since we're going into 16 notes afterwards, is to just say the but play the 2 notes. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and because they're quicker. They're twice as fast. Then we go into our 16 notes, which is on 3E and a 4E and is all on the snare. So 1 and 2 and 3E and 4E and So 1 and 2 and 3E and 4E and So those two bars together are 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3E and 4E and Okay. So then we go into the next bar, which continues that fill. Actually, we don't actually stop there at the 4E and it kind of continues in. And we're gonna have a crash on 2 there, which kind of ends that section of the fill. So we have 1 E and So right left, just 16 notes, but we're gonna put the third right on or the second right technically on the floor tom. So 1 E and then we're gonna actually play another left because we're crashing on the 2 there. 2. So 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the rest of the beat continues. So 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and next bar is 1 and 2 and So we got that bass drum coming on the 1 and 2 and Then we're at bar 46 now. And then we have kind of like this cool rock thing, which is like the flams and the bass. Those little diamonds are going to be flam, which is just the 2 hands. One falls right before the other to kind of make it like one fat note. So 3 E and 4 E and This fill is also going to continue in the next bar, but let's just get this bar first. So 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and Counting is going to be your best friend in this. Let's put those 2 bars together. Actually, we're going to put all 4 together because it's harder to... Actually, we're going to put 45 and 46 together. So 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and Then we're going to keep going. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and don't get thrown off by the spacing written here because when we're going off Songster chart, don't get thrown off by the writing. Some of the bars take up the whole thing, and some of the lines are split into 2 bars just because that's just the way they did it. And so going back to 45 through 47, 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and just do it nice and slow and count it as many times as you need to. I'm going to go back to the top of the bridge and play through till that part. So 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 and 3 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 Okay, that brings us to bar 48, which, again, we're going to throw in some 30-second notes and also some 16-note triplets, which we've done some of before, if you've been taking lessons with me. Then we're going to play 1 and 2 and 3. So we're going to play the thing the same. So 1 and 2 and the little double on And then we're just looking at, we're cutting this measure in half and looking at beat 3 and 4 is their own thing. Because they're just 16-note triplets. So 3 ta ta and ta ta, 4 ta ta and ta ta. So 3, 4, 3 and 4 and, which is just right, left, right, left, right, left. 3 triplet and triplet. Or you can say 3 ta ta and ta ta, 4 ta ta and ta ta. First set of 3 is on first set of 6, which is beat 3 is on snare, then on floor tom. So we're going to play 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And sometimes when you're playing something like that, it's easier to just count the quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And then we don't end with a crash. we end right there, and then the next bar comes in with a 1, just kind of like a little stop. So 1 and 2 and then we again crash on 2, 2 and 3, 4, right? And so those 2 bars together, 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and then the last bar of that bridge is 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Sorry, actually it's back to the 16th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and. But this time instead of playing the on the snare, we're gonna actually end with a open hi-hat. So no bass. Bad habit. Not a bad habit, just a usual habit. Usually we're gonna play the bass with the open hi-hat because it kind of gives it a little more oomph. But in this song he doesn't, so we're just gonna do what's written. So 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and I kind of would do right left right still, and then grab the open hi-hat with my right hand. But you can do 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and left because it comes next if that's easier. So that is the monstrous bridge section. Let's just play through the whole thing. I might have to bring my left hand over to move the chart, but nice and easy. So 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 3 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 4 1 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and Alright, it's a pretty monstrous little section there. But it's luckily the song isn't that fast, so it's just a matter of repetition, counting, practicing this over and over. The nice thing about this chart is that at the end, when this happens again, it's all exactly the same except for so the whole entire thing repeats exactly the same except for the bar where there's the except for the last bar of it and the bar where there's the triplets. Instead of 16 note triplets, we're doing 30-second notes. So straight 30-second notes. So it's gonna go 1 and 2 and like we did before. And then instead of just playing 4, so if we counted 1 E and or 3 E and in this case, we're going to add 2 notes for each of those. But the easiest way to count it is 3 E and E and instead of moving down to the floor tom, we're going to stay on the snare. So 3 E and E and 4 E and E and but they're twice as fast. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and give me a second. 1 and 2. That's it. So 1 and 2 and right, but up to tempo. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And you can count 3, 3 and 4 and. It's a little quick. So if you need to just do the 16 notes there or the triplet thing again, that's totally cool. I mean, it's not gonna make or break the song. 1 and so that's kind of what it will sound like. And then the very last bar there that we do is just going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 ta ta 4 ta ta. So we just do triplets there. So first part is 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 ta ta 4 ta ta 1. So hope that is helpful. It's a pretty monstrous part. Just take it one part at a time and try looking at the chart and songster while you do it. It's going to help a lot. And then just listening to it, any part that's not making sense, listen to it so you can see how it sounds compared to what's written out, and that'll help really kind of connect what these rhythms sound like, because all of these are stuff you're going to use all over the place. So yeah, and I believe there's a way to slow this down in the app. I'm not quite sure, but you can do that, or you can just take the tempo, which is 84, and work on section by section by slowing it down. So you'll take it from 84 down to like 70, work on 2 bars at a time, build your speed, get that up to speed, and then add 2 more. So, and then the beat, just in case somebody's watching this, the whole thing, beat is just a 2-bar phrase for the whole thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we don't play the and of the 4 on the second bar, which kind of gives it a break, and we start over. Yeah, let me know if there's any questions, and have fun and good luck with the song.